JamTheHype.com. This is Ellie, and I'm here with the man behind the mask, Mr. Cho'zyn Boy. How are you?
Hey, great. Thanks for having me.
So we have a few questions for you. We would like to know, how did you start DJing for CHH?
Well, actually, my journey into DJing for CHH was kind of unique. I actually started off with a career in dancing. I was into hip-hop dance, did backup dancing from like 2005 through like almost like 2010, 2011. So through my time with dancing, I got to meet a lot of different artists. Like I did backup dancing for people like Jay and JR. So I met guys like Thizzle, Flame, Lecrae, Tripoli, Tadashi, basically a lot of the CHH artists that I ended up knowing. I found out about those guys and met them during my time in dance. So after transitioning from dance to eventually filmmaking and shooting music videos and stuff like that, after getting into that, I already had relationships with guys like Thizzle. So Thizzle ended up bringing me out, like, just to help me out, like, hey, like, maybe you can come out on the road with me, film some stuff, and I'll pay you. So I'm like, hey, I'm down. So he brought me out to South by Southwest in 2012. And I was just there to film some behind-the-scenes shots and stuff like that. But while I was there, I ended up filming the DJ battle, because I had a DJ battle out there. It was with DJ Aslan and Belief. At the time, he was with the Breaks. So ended up filming the DJ battle, just checking them out, and I went back to my hotel room, and I was just checking out the footage. I'm like, oh, it's kind of dope how they're doing this, like they're mixing this with that, and it was just kind of dope to me. So on the ride back to St. Louis, because me, Thizzle, and JR, or Courtney Orlando, we drove the whole way to Texas. So on the way back to St. Louis, I would just download a little app on my iPod Touch at the time called DJ, and just messing around with different people's acapellas, mixing them with somebody else's instrumental. And I'm like, oh, this is kind of fun how they're doing that. And eventually I recorded a remix, which later became known as, I called it High Like Crazy. It was a remix of Lecrae's High mixed with Beyonce's Crazy in Love beat. And I just recorded it just for fun, let some people hear it. And I think Thiz was like, hey, like, you should send this to Wado. I'm like, send this to DJ Wado? Like, why would I send this to him? Like, you don't know me. Like, what is he going to do with this little mix that I made on my iPod Touch? He's like, you never know. So I ended up sending it to Wado and other people, Chris Chicago, and a few weeks later, I started getting tweets. And I'm like, what is this? And it was people hitting up Wado, like, hey, like, what was that mix you just played? And he was replying to people like, hey, that's Cho'zyn Boy's High Like Crazy remix. I'm like, oh, wow, he's playing it on his show. Like, this is crazy. And then soon after, I'm getting tweets from Chris Chicago. He was playing it on Jam the Hype at the time. I'm like, what the heck? Like, people are actually playing this mix that I made on my iPod Touch. So I ended up, eventually after that, took it a little bit more serious, got some equipment, and ironically, I used that same DJ app, but only on my iPad. But I got a DJ controller where I could put my iPad right into it. So I ended up getting into it, and that following year, I submitted an entry to be the DJ for that same South by Southwest event that I previously filmed. And they ended up accepting me, and the very following year, after I just filmed the year prior, I returned to South by Southwest as the DJ for that official showcase. So it was like a crazy turn of events. And from there, I ended up linking with Flame, who had obviously recently just found out that I got into DJing. Just like, where did this come from? And I'm like, oh, yeah, just recently got into it. And he got back to St. Louis. Somehow we ended up linking up. And within months after I got into DJing, I started touring with Flame full time. So it was crazy.
We want to know, if you weren't DJing, what would you be doing career-wise?
Actually, it's something that I kind of do on the side now. Not a lot of people know about it. Literally, only like a handful of people know, and those are the people I kind of work with this with. But I also do video production. It's kind of a step up from just the filmmaking that I did prior to DJing, but now I'm into promo videos, motion graphics, animations, like all types of things. So I've been doing video production on the side, just kind of not really telling people that I do it, but somehow people find out and they book me to do stuff. So I'm really falling in love with it. It's becoming like a kind of second passion. DJing is still the top thing, but motion animations and video production is definitely getting up there. So I've been working with Kingdom Productions on promo video packages. Did a promo video for a propaganda tour, a few events, concert events, and it's been dope. So that's definitely next in line after the DJ days are done.
Yeah, definitely check out those promo videos that he has out. Another question for you. Touring with CHH artists, you see a lot of things. What encourages you and discourages you in being a CHH DJ?
That's a tough one. I would have to say, for one, I'm very, very encouraged by the community. Just even getting to know other CHH artists from just touring with Flame, and just the community is not like anything else. Like, I don't think even in mainstream they can really rival how the community sometimes is in CHH. Like, just the building and fellowshipping with other artists and other DJs, like-minded Christians, and it's been very encouraging. Like, I've learned a lot just even about just in my personal spiritual walk through DJing and working with different artists and just them pouring into me. So, like, it's a lot more than just the craft and the art, but it's also like the friendships and the relationships built. So that's very encouraging, which is why, like, I love CHH. I guess one of the slight discouragements is sometimes things aren't as how do I put it? They aren't as professional as sometimes it can be in mainstream. Like, in mainstream, as far as, like, just the way concerts are set up or tours are set up and things like that, it's a lot more structured to it. I guess in CHH we can probably learn a lot on that end as far as, like, structuring certain things, structuring concerts, the structure of a tour, the structure of even the promotions. Like, I feel like we need a lot more on the promotional side of things. I feel like we're kind of in a phase where everybody wants to be an artist, but nobody really wants to use other gifts they may have. Like, I'm also, which is what I kind of mentioned, I've been dabbling into video production on the side. Like, yes, I'm a DJ, but I also can provide this, which can probably help this whole genre. So I think we need a lot more, like, on the promotion side and just the structure and the infrastructure behind it.
That's definitely some very, very solid points that you make there. As you know, the passing of DJ Official was last year around this time, and we would like to make a tribute to him and just kind of pick up, like a piece of his legacy. But our last question would be, what is the biggest lesson you've learned from DJ Official after his passing?
I would say definitely never taking people for granted, especially when it comes to just honoring their gifts sometimes. Like, sometimes even a gift like being a dope DJ sometimes is taken a lot more lightly than a rapper, per se. Like, I've experienced it a lot. Like, I can be in a room full of rappers, and I would be the last person looked at because I'm a DJ. It's like, I feel like the passing of DJ Official really helped a lot of people learn to not take things for granted, especially people who provide a service that really encourages people and really helps the entire community. Like, DJ Official, like, Lecrae's career wouldn't be how it was without DJ Official. Like, you need a DJ behind you, supporting you and stuff like that. So, like, I just learned, like, to really not take people for granted, especially, like, no matter what the gift is, and just really appreciate them in the moment.
Well, thank you so much, Cho'zyn Boy, for your time. If you would like to share your social media so that people can follow you.
Oh, yeah, definitely, and appreciate being here. You can follow me on all social media platforms. That's Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, everything, MySpace, all at Cho'zyn Boy, CHOZYNBOY. You can find me there, everywhere.
Great. Thank you so much again.
Hey, no problem. Thanks for having me.
JamTheHype.com. This is Ellie. Our special guest today is DJ 412. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good, bro. Congrats on your wedding. As we know, Cho'zyn Boy was first on our list to get married a month ago, and now you. How is that going for you?
It's good, man. I'm a whole 6 days in and still trying to figure it out. Just actually got back from the honeymoon yesterday, so real life is hit. I'm headed out of town tonight. Got a show on Thursday and a show this weekend. So back in the grind, but it's good now. She can travel with me, so we're gonna see how that goes.
Nice. That's such a blessing. Um, well, we have a few questions for you. We would like to know how did you start DJing in the CHH community?
Yeah, so I started DJing, I think a little over 4 years ago now, 3.5. But I started when I was in my senior year in high school, and I have always been a CHH fan. So I grew up on Zig Laden and Petty. So those were my first Christian hip hop albums back in the day. And before that, it was Kirk Franklin, everyone's favorite artist back in the day. So grew up listening to them, and then 2004. I found out who Lecrae was, and then in middle school through high school, I was just hooked on on everything CHH. So as far as Ambassador, Tonic, Flame, Swift, Revolutionary theme music was a classic. JR, I think is it Life by Soapbox or dang it, I can't remember it, but that joint, Life by Stereo, that joint was crazy. So just growing up listening to all of those. And playing saxophone and being a part of music and march band and everything, I always knew I wanted to do something in music and didn't really know what it was. And so when I kind of just asked the Lord what it was he wanted me to do, and he kind of dropped turntables on my lap, I had a homie who sold me 2 turntables, a 4-channel mixer, 2 speakers, and 60 vinyl and 2 brand new needles for $250. I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty dope. Well, let me try this out and see what's up. So CHH was the only music I listened to. And so as far as me starting to DJ, it was just simple to me. It was man, I love Christian hip hop. I love Christian music. I want to give people something good, uplifting, and enjoyable. And at the time, I think around my I'd say my 10th grade to senior year, Christian hip hop just started to get cool. No offense to any artist, but like it was getting better and better and better. It started to sound more original, and it wasn't just a remix of old school songs, but it was actually starting to have its own vein and its own lane. And so 5 to 6 months in to DJing, my older sister, who is a phenomenal dancer, fashion designer, all those other things, lived in Atlanta, had a lot of connections, and actually knew Show Baraka. And she was like, hey, how would you feel if you did a show with Show Baraka? I'd be like, that'd be dope. What? And she was like, all right, we're going to make it happen. And so the first show I ever did, 6 months into DJing, was my first solo show in South Carolina. And I got Show Baraka to come out, and a homie named Tay Collier and some other homies from Atlanta that came out. And so I just got to perform with them. And I guess I was hooked from there. And I was like, cool, CHH is what I want to do. I really want to do Christian hip-hop or be a part of it as far as something that I guess invested so much into me. My relationship with Christ was so filled and so thrilled through Christian hip-hop. The more I read, the more I wanted to know, the more I knew, the more I wanted to, listen to the music, the more the music encouraged me to read. So, I just say ever since I've started, I've always been a fan of it. And so as I grew in DJing, I just got to do it more and more. And met a lot of different artists. The homie R. Swift gave me my first shot, I'd really say. After I first moved to Atlanta, so R. Swift gave me a shot and let me rock with him. And then my man Cannon has just shown so much love to me and kind of let me start rocking with him. And that's who I usually do stuff with. But I've done stuff with Tripoli, KB, pretty much most of RMG, a lot of the newer cats as far as No Big Deal, Lawrence, the homie, Foggy Raw, RG, all of them. So Ty Brazel, those guys.
Nice. And they can catch you on that old school throwback turn, right? With Lecrae.
For sure, yeah. So that's another thing that happened. So I guess that was my quote unquote claim to fame. What was that? That was 2015 or 14. I want to say it was 13, August of 13.
It's been a while.
So that was the first big thing I did in Atlanta. I showed up at the Lecrae I'm Turning music video. Crazy thing about that, shout out to the homie Hannah Tams. I don't know if she'll ever hear this, But I didn't even know the music video was going on. Like, she lived in Florida, and she texted me. She was like, yo, Lecrae's shooting a music video. You should go be a part of it. I was like, Lecrae's shooting a music video? Where? And she texted me the address, and I was like, yo, that's like 5 minutes from my house. That's because I don't use Twitter, and I still don't. I got to do better. But she was like, yo, you should check it out. So I went, and then when I went, I kind of just, got the opportunity to bring my turntables in. So you can catch it in like the first 10 seconds on the background, DJing for the music video. It was dope. Like, great experience. Yeah.
All right, so we have a few more questions for you. So touring with CHH artists, you tend to see a lot of things. But what encourages you and discourages you with being a CHH DJ?
Man, I think so. Whether it's like Christian hip hop or not, I think one of the best things I've seen that stands out in Christian hip hop more than everything else is just camaraderie. So I've done most of my traveling with Cannon, and Cannon's just been a great dude. Like, he's just been a great leader, a great role model, a great big brother. Definitely encouraging, definitely challenging, definitely correcting. All in loving and all in good ways. And so since I've done most of my travel with him, as I've gotten to travel, as I've gotten to see it, it's become a real like brotherhood. I think it can be this in any genre of music, but as far as like CHH goes, it's just a real brotherhood of people who really care for you. I'd say that sometimes it's people who really care for you. Other times it's like, hey, I'm just doing a job. I'm gonna do my job and call it a day, which is cool. You know what I mean? Like, but as far as like super encouraging goes, traveling with Cannon and traveling with some other people, it's just been really fun to grow and love as brothers and grow in the knowledge of the word and grow in scriptures. And I got a homie named No Big Deal who does a lot, but there's like a group chat we got going on between me, him, Lauren, the homie Markel V, and What Up RG, and that's just one of the best things that's ever happened in my life. Like, they're all around my age, so it's very encouraging, very loving, and as we get to travel and do life with each other, it's just super uplifting. Like, they really care about making us better men and iron sharpening iron. I think discouraging, haven't really seen too much that really like discourages me. I think like getting into the business, you just got to understand that it's business. And so not every relationship will be the same, and that's okay. But I think mostly, like, I will say this, as far as, like, not from other people, but as being a Christian hip-hop artist, quote-unquote, or, like, doing a lot of music in Christian hip-hop, as a DJ, like, I think it can be very closed sometimes. There's not really, like, that many opportunities, or people aren't as open to it yet. And shout out to, like, DJ Val and DJ Promote and Aslan and even the late great Official for doing all that they've done to kind of just open the door to make that more acceptable.
If you weren't DJing, what would you be doing career-wise?
So I tell most people if I wasn't DJing, I'd probably be a bum because I don't know. Like, I've never gone to college. I've never done anything. It was like my senior year of high school. It's like, all right, I feel like I'm supposed to be a DJ, so I'm going to be a DJ. And I put all my eggs in one basket, and people were like, man, well, like, what's your plan B? What if that doesn't work? What if this doesn't work? I'm like, I really feel like this is what God has called me to do, and if I have to have a plan B for God, then we're all in trouble. And so I put all my faith and all my hope in what I feel like Jesus told me to do, and I jumped. The homie R. Swift has a line. He says, even if I'm free falling, I'm still falling in his hands. And that has just, like, encouraged me so much. It's like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I jumped off a cliff. And I know I'm still going to fall in his hands. Like, if I'm faithful and I'm obedient to what he's told me to do, then that's good. And so it's just, man, like, it is faith. This whole DJing journey is a faith journey where it's like the things not seen but yet hoped for. And so DJing is the things some of the things I'm doing is things I never saw but I yet hope for. But maybe realistically, outside of being a bum, I'd work in the church somewhere. Like, I love ministry. The most things I'm passionate about is Jesus and music, and so thankfully DJing gives me the opportunity to do both. But if I wasn't DJing, I'd probably find some local church to serve in and be effective there and ask whatever else God would have me to do. But I love people, and so like one of my mains, like on Instagram and in my bios and most places, like a slogan I have is love God, love people, love music. And that's all it is for me. I really love God, I really love people, and I really love good music. And so that's kind of what my life revolves around and what it's centered around. And however I could be doing that is probably what I'd be doing outside of DJing.
Nice. That's definitely encouraging to me, and I'm sure it'll be encouraging to our listeners. As you know, the year anniversary for DJ's official's passing is coming up in a few days. We wanted to know if, we wanted to make a tribute for him, and we wanted to know if you had any memories that you shared with him.
Yeah, so I never personally got to talk to Fish, and I always felt like I should have reached out to him, but I just never got the chance to. But even growing up and not knowing I wanted to be a DJ at the time, but when Intermission came out, like, that was just amazing. Like, that whole album was crazy, and it's like all the other albums that came out around that time were really good and they were quality, but it's something about that one that just I was so drawn to it. And whether it be DJ Official's like actual DJing skills, artist production skills, he just encouraged me so much. And like I said earlier, the like Promotes and the Vows and the Aslans and DJ Rhino and all of them, like, and my homie Psalm 51, like, they just encouraged me so much. They did something that wasn't being done, where I think, like, a lot of people see the story of Christian hip-hop artists, like, breaking through into mainstream or breaking through and becoming its own genre. But even more so for me, it was, like, just a sub-story of a DJ. Like, the value that I brought to it. So Fish at the time was just, he gave me a lot of encouragement. And then even like when I first started, like the value that he had and the value that he brought to it, to the table as being a DJ was just crazy. And even traveling with Cannon, who got to travel with Fish, just hearing his stories and hearing how impactful he was. And then I was actually traveling with Trip Lee during the times of Fish's death. And so to see like how much he impacted Trip and how much he impacted the other guys was just kind of giving me encouragement as a DJ. It's not really always about the music, but as it is connections. And as a DJ, you just bring so many people together and you can piece things together. Like as far as the Intermission album, it was just beats he produced or a project he worked on, and he knew everyone. He was a connector. And so growing up in the game and being a part of the game now, quote unquote, it's just like, man, there's a legacy left that is so much more than music and transcends all of that. But it's a way to help the artists and break records and put them in places they might not be at right now. But it's just encouragement, seeing his life and how well he lived it and how his music was really just a catalyst for him to love people well. And he loved people well regardless. So shouts out to everything he did and everything he's done. And just, yeah, I wouldn't be a DJ. Are the doors that there are in Christian hip-hop for DJs, I really feel like wouldn't be there if Fish wasn't who he was and if he didn't do what he did. As long as the other older DJs that have really shown a light for what we can do and really paved the way and actually opened the doors for us younger cats to have a chance and to make a living off of this. So super grateful for him and them.
Dope. Thank you so much for sharing your heart. Like, DJ Official was the real deal. I definitely want to take the time to thank you for doing this interview with us. If you'd like to share your social medias with us so people can follow you.
Yeah. So Instagram and SoundCloud is mainly what I do. You can follow me at DJ4, the number 4 _12. So DJ, the number 4 _12. You can find all my mixes on SoundCloud. I got some stuff dropping. Instagram is main source right now, but in another month or two, I'll probably have a website coming up. Got some merch coming out. Grace and Peace. Love God, love people, love music, and some other things. So keep an eye out on that, and you guys will be seeing a lot from me coming soon.